Alright guys, welcome back. I know last week I didn't have a video. Thanks for those of you that were reaching out. I had a little injury from my jiu-jitsu class, and I'm still dealing with it a little bit. My finger and my neck are a little bit messed up, but I'm good this week, good enough to have this lesson for you. And I think this one is worth the wait. So in this one, we're going to go through the Tune Invitation, standard invitation. And what's cool about it is with a couple minor tweaks, we can basically run through every single permutation of our secret jazz chord, and thus all of the keys of melodic minor. And if we do this in all 5 positions, which this video I'm just going to do it in one position just for the sake of the video, but if you grab the PDF below, that is notated out in all 5 positions. So essentially this is a way of practicing all keys of your melodic minor scale, just with this tune invitation, because invitation goes through a lot of keys. And like I said, we'll make a couple tweaks to some of the, make a couple substitutions to some of the chords that work in order to catch all keys. So let's get into it. So if you're not familiar with the tune invitation, well, first of all, it's right here, but you could just look up a lead sheet for it, or just grab the chords. I'll be going through just the chords for this. And what I want to do, so we're not just playing through chords, is tie back to one of my previous melodic minor lessons, and for each of these secret jazz chord shapes, play through one of the lines. In this case, we'll just do an ascending line for each of the shapes. And the point of this is we're going to run through all of our melodic minor shapes in one position for this, and also have a line. So as we're doing that, we're getting a really clear idea of, in this one position, you know, the shapes and how to solo over it and some examples of that. So it's really great practice. I've been doing it in my own practice, and we'll get into it real quick. If you guys want to share this video or any of the other videos, it'd be a great help. I'm really trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If we can do more, that's awesome, but we're close to 6,000, and my goal is at least 10,000 by the end of the year, and sharing this video with a friend is a huge way to help that. So invitation starts off with C minor. All of the minor chords here, you could approach them as Dorian, but again, for the sake of us practicing our melodic minor, we're going to approach them like it's a C melodic minor. So we're going to do this whole video in about the 5th position shape. So our first chord is going to be this secret jazz chord. We're using that D note right there as our note for secret jazz chord. Reference the previous secret jazz chord videos if you haven't checked them out. So we're looking at that, and then the line we're going to use over that is a variation of one of my previous melodic minor lines from 10 Killen melodic minor lines. So we have this, and we're going to use that same shape for the C minor, and then the next section where it goes to F13, same chord, then we go to B flat dominant. We're going to use this shape now, B flat 13. So we have the G up top, and we have a different line for this shape. We're going to do a rest, 8th note rest. Each of these lines, I'm trying to get them so that they're easy to remember, and the way I did that was ending as close as possible to that top melody note. So in this case, for the B flat 13, we have, so it's a little bit of a reminder. Going to the next section, we have E flat minor 9. So we're going to use that F note in a different shape here. Since we're doing it on invitation, a cool little way of visualizing this chord and the scale associated with it is the little bit of a quote from invitation. So for each of these chord shapes, we have that as our line, and then it goes to A flat 13, which is the same secret jazz chord shape, and then we get D flat 13. So you do it like this, with B flat at the top. This is our 4th shape we're looking at, and that line is this. Alright, going from there, then we have C sharp minor 7. This is sort of the bridge section of invitation. We're going to look at this shape. We've already had this one. So for each of these, I'm really trying to visualize the scale and some lines over it. For the sake of this YouTube video, it's a little more interesting, I think, to play some lines instead of like running the full scale up and down. But feel free to apply whatever thing you need to practice over this. So if it's scales, if it's the full scale, if it's arpeggios, if it's a line, you can do any of that tied to these chords for each of the shapes. From there, this is the first change we're making so that we can grab all of the keys. Instead of an F sharp altered, we're going to do an F sharp sus flat 9. So it can be used as a substitution, but there were 2 keys missing when I went through Invitation, and so I really wanted to capture all 12 keys, and so I made 2 switches. The first one is we're going to do F sharp sus flat 9 instead of F sharp altered, and we're going to do E7 sus flat 9 instead of E altered. Again, those both work as substitutions for the chord anyways, and that helps us get to the 2 keys we were missing for Invitation, so we can capture all 12 keys. All right, so for that one, we're looking at, for 7 sus flat 9, we do it from the root, so we're looking at F sharp here, and we already had this shape, so we're going to do the same shape right there. Going into B minor 9, so it's going to be this one. The shape we had before, we have you can even tell that one's a little weird for me because I'm not used to playing B minor in that third, sort of the third position, and so that's shows me something I need to practice. Going from there, we have B minor 9 again, then we have our E7 sus flat 9. Right? Hopefully you're doing this with your guitar, or at least save the video so you can go back and practice along with this. So we have that one. And then our last shape, which we've been kind of waiting for, is this A minor 9. Right? And so for that one, we're looking at that shape. And that's all 5 shapes. We'll keep going so we go through the song. We have A minor again. It goes to D7 altered. It's the same one we've seen with E flat minor 9. And then going from there with the D altered, we have G minor. Right, so that G. And then we have E flat 7 sharp 11. We're going to use the 13 right here. For each of these, I'm also thinking, when I play the chord, what is that melodic minor scale? So if I hit this, I'm not just thinking of the shape, I'm also thinking, oh, okay, cool. That is going from B flat melodic minor. And that just helps remind me of other concepts I can use over this. So if we're doing that, that's this shape, right? And then we have D altered again, right? And then G altered, which is the same as our D flat 13. All right, and then Invitation goes back to the top. We have the C minor, right? We'll go through all that, B flat 13. And then when we get to E flat minor, we have 2 measures of this. And then it goes to the like coda section, which is that B7 sharp 11. We're gonna do this shape for it with that G sharp on top. You could, if you really want to get that sharp 11, and we'll see this in a second, you can change some of the secret jazz chord shapes. This one's one of the easier ones to do it. So instead of playing that note on the 2nd string, you raise that up 2 frets, and you kind of change the shape, and you get this. It's a nice way of getting some variation in your secret jazz chord shape. I still think about it like the same, but it's a different option I have now instead of just only those 5 voicings. So with that one, we're looking at the same. You do that. And this one, again, I like because I'm not used to playing in any sort of B key, B minor, or B7, or whatever, in this position. It's not like a natural one for B. And so this is a good way of getting into some unexplored territory. Again, from there, then we're going to just move up the shape to B flat for the F half diminished. And we have the same to the B flat altered, same as our B minor 9. It's coming from the same B melodic minor. flat minor major 7. One other thing, and you'll see this in the PDF if you grab it, for each of these minor major 7 chords, it's based on, just like we did for this chord, it's based on one of the secret jazz chords shapes, but we just change, instead of in the context of E flat minor major 7, our 6th, which is C, we're going to move that up a whole step to D, and then that gives us a voicing for minor major 7. Bunch of places we can do this, like here, instead of this voicing, we move that C up to here, and we get this. We're not actually playing an E flat. It's assumed that the bass player, or however we're going to play that, E flat. Yeah. All right, so hopefully that helps. Again, you can check this out in the PDF below in all positions. It's like a 10-page PDF. It took me a little bit to create. And I plan on using it for my own practice to go through all the melodic minor positions, all 12 keys, all positions on the guitar, every possible shape. It's really, really going to be some good practice for me, and I hope you guys got a lot out of that. Be sure to hit the like button. It really helps. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you.